my dad's birthday coming up, and it just makes me think of a lot of the memories of my dad. Dad passed away a few years back, but you know, get around birthdays and so forth, you do think about it. But I certainly miss my dad. But my dad was real simple, not very complicated. He probably should have been a little bit more complicated. But gosh, my dad was from Maine. We grew up in Richmond, Virginia. My dad got to Virginia through the service, and those annual vacations, 2 weeks always in Maine, a lot of memories with cousins and catching up. And it was a busy 2 weeks, and at some point it really didn't feel like a little bit of work, because we were that family with my mom's direction, and dad, but mom certainly, hey, we need to see our relatives in Maine, and we need to see this one, and this one. Take some effort. Knocking on doors, making phone calls, visiting folk. That's old school. One of the things about my dad, I think he enjoyed work. He enjoyed his job. Around the house, he was not a handyman, and I had a lot of pushing around the house to get things done for my dad. But my dad enjoyed work, whether he was a bookkeeper for a paper company, whether he was working part-time at 7-Eleven. But I think I get some of that. Just you know, you got to find your passion with what you're doing, your work, your career. And I think my dad enjoyed that. Always had stories to tell or to share about his day, if someone was willing to listen. But dad, real simple. Sense of humor, I think I get some of that from him. But he enjoyed eating hot dogs, and one of our favorites. And gosh, we could smile and laugh about lots of things. And but my dad and my family, so glad, just in terms of my dad was part of the pulling to make sure we were in church, make sure we were finding good fellowship. And that didn't happen for years, but it certainly did at some point. And I think my dad could be friends with anybody, or make friends and make them laugh, or them make my dad laugh. We had good times around the fellowship of strengthening our relationship with Christ. That's important. Miss you, Dad.